Marriage, whether religious or civil, is fundamentally a two-person commitment built on exclusivity, trust, and shared responsibility. You know, but now most have a concern about involving a third party, either through counseling, therapy, or legal systems. And this concern often comes from the fear that the original dynamic may change permanently. You know, and that concern is valid. When a third party enters a marriage context, the structure shifts from private resolution to mediated interaction. This can feel like a loss of intimacy or control, especially if one partner feels exposed or misunderstood. You know, it may also surface issues that were previously avoided, making the relationship feel more fragile in the short term. Now, in that sense, yes, things often don't go back to how they were. You know, however, now, not the same, not going back to how things were, does not necessarily mean worse. Many couples seek help precisely because their current dynamic is already unsustainable. You know, now, counseling or therapy introduces tools for communication, accountability, and conflict resolution that may not exist within the relationship. Mhm. While the presence of a third party changes the dynamic, it can also create a structured space to rebuild it. You know, psychologically, unresolved conflict tends to repeat itself. Without intervention, patterns like miscommunication, avoidance, or emotional disconnection often deepen. Now, a skilled coach or even counselor or therapist does not replace the relationship, but helps both individuals understand themselves and each other more clearly. Research shows that couples therapy can improve communication and satisfaction for many, though outcomes vary. Some marriages do end after intervention, but often because underlying incompatibilities or even long-standing issues become clear, and not simply because a third party was involved. You know, spiritually, relationships are spaces for growth and reflection. Bringing in guidance can be seen as seeking clarity rather than introducing division. It requires humility to admit that help is needed. Whether the relationship continues or ends, the process can lead to greater awareness and personal development. You know, in short, introducing a third party into a marriage changes its dynamic, and it may never return to its previous state. However, this change is not inherently destructive. It can either expose deeper issues or even provide tools for healing. The outcome depends less on the presence of a third party and more on the willingness of both individuals to engage honestly and grow. You know, may people heal. Hmm? Heal.